Welcome to Winning the Game of Life. Known as Jungleman at the poker table, Dan Cates has gone from being the bag boy at McDonald's with no friends and a dead-end future to winning over $11 million in online poker, over $7 million in live tournaments, and is a World Series of Poker champion. He has found fame, fortune, been to incredible places all over the globe, and connected with some amazing people. It looks like Dan has won the game of life, but that is not the way he sees it. Dan sees winning as doing his part to help everyone in the world win. He knows he can't do it alone, though. He knows it's going to take a collective effort with anyone that wants to see the same thing. Join us each week as Dan starts the conversation to do just that. On the show, Dan will interview incredible individuals that have made the impossible possible. Those that have won the game of life, and those that want to help others win as well. Hit subscribe and follow Dan's journey on Instagram at @TheDanCates. Let's explore anyone and anything that can help make this world a better place, increasing the odds of us all winning the game of life. And now, here's your host, Dan Cates. Welcome back for part 2 of this conversation. If you haven't checked out part 1, be sure to check it out.
I want to ask, well, have you done anything that is, I would say, like, creating Run It Once actually is probably doing something good on the whole. As it turns out, creating businesses is more beneficial for society than doing acts like charity on the whole, I would say. It depends on the business, of course, but if the businesses are beneficial, you could say there's a lot of good that was made from making this business. I'd like to ask, what made you decide to transition from poker to business? Because this seems like a really hard transition to me as someone who's been exploring this transition a bit. And it seems like very different in many ways.
So the funny thing is, I've been doing it for a long time, but I like poker better. Business is not totally for me, I feel like. And the way that it happened was simply, I liked teaching poker. I liked making poker training videos. I always liked teaching strategy. And I thought that it could be done better than other people were doing, as far as the training sites, the businesses. And so that was the impetus for doing it. It was not that I wanted to get into business. Like I didn't have aspirations of running a business. It was just, I think this could be done better. I want to do it. And that's kind of the similar to what happened with Run It Once Poker was, I think there needs to be a poker site like this. So I'm going to try to do it. It's not, I think I'm a great businessman and I love running businesses. It's more about, so like I'm personally, the part of running a business that I love is creating the product. I'm really passionate about the product, which for the training site is the training content, the website, the brand, and the poker site is obviously the poker platform and the policies that go into it, the features, things like that. That's what I'm passionate about. I'm not passionate about managing people. I'm not passionate about marketing. I'm not passionate about, accounting. And I'm not passionate about a lot of the things that go into operating a business. And if you run a business, you sometimes get stuck doing a lot of those things.
So go ahead.
I'm just going to say, I don't know if it was a great decision for me, but I mean, it's gone fine. And I like aspects of it, but yeah, I think that if you're interested in it, it would depend on motivation for getting into business. Right. But I would say, make sure that you get an idea of what aspects of it you're interested in and have a partner or partners that you trust, which is the key that can handle the other aspects or, have complementary skill sets.
Yeah, that makes sense. I presume you would just hire people to do things like accounting and like managing people and all that.
Yes and no, but yes, but it can be dangerous because if you look, I'm not a business guru. but I am going to give some, general advice that I've learned. I think that it's important that you understand how to do a lot of aspects of your business, even if you're not the one doing it, and even if you're not the best at it in your business, because you just need to know what's going on. Because when you hire people and then they hire people and then they manage those people and you're not overseeing as much, because like we're poker players, we're doing other things. And even if you're focused on the business, you can't do it all. But like I think that anybody in a position of reasonable power in your business, you need to have a lot of trust in it. At least, if not in their competence, in their transparency with you about what's going on, and coming to you when there's a question about something, coming to you when they're not sure if you would approve of one way of doing things or another. Because if not, if you kind of just say, okay, well, I'll hire somebody, this guy's resume looks good, he can do this job, this girl's resume looks good, she can do that job, okay, here's the idea for the business, go do it. You just don't have control, and you can't really get it back, right? If 2 years go by and they're running the business and you're like, wait, this is not what I wanted, why aren't we doing this? Here, let me fit. Like, you don't know how the business operates at that point, because they've been doing it for you the whole time, and you don't even have the tools to like dig in and change things. You don't know what they're doing well enough to tell them what to do.
I presume you just don't relinquish authority, and then you figure out like, why aren't they delivering the thing that you want, and then you have them explain it, and then you just don't relinquish authority, and then you dig into it. Is what I personally guess.
But at some level you have to trust them, because there has to be trust, because they don't have to. I'm trying to think of an example, but so let's say you hire me to run your marketing department, and I'm running Facebook ads and Google ads. I'm not a marketer, so I'm not. This is not the best example, but anyways, I'm doing that for you, and it's not doing we're not seeing a good ROI. And you come to me and you say, well, why aren't we seeing good ROI? And I say, well, I just think the product's not that good, or I think that we need better, whatever. We need better videos to promote this with. So then you go and make better videos and you provide them to me, and then I do those, and they still aren't good. But you don't really know if I know what I'm talking about. You don't know what what options I've chosen in the marketing, in Facebook's marketing options. You don't know what I've chosen, and you don't know how to evaluate what I've chosen, because you haven't paid attention to that part of the business. And so, yeah, you can keep authority and you can tell me what to do, but you also have to rely on me coming to you and saying, oh, this is the problem, maybe, or this is the problem, maybe. Or let's say you do have an idea and you say, oh, you should start. I wish I picked a better example of something I know something about, but you should start. You should just stop Facebook advertising and do it all on Twitter. And then I say, no, actually, the industry-wide Twitter ROIs for our type of business are much, much worse. And I'm the expert, you don't really know. But what if I'm bad? What if I'm wrong? You're not even though you have authority, there's what do you do then? Because you don't have all the information.
Got to use your poker skills.
Sure.
To peer into their souls.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's very important. It's so valuable to have people that you already know well, and people that you get to know well and trust as you develop a working relationship with them. And that takes getting involved in some of the things more than you would like to be long-term, because you need to understand it. That's my 2 cents.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. It's easy for things to go awry if you don't check up on them too much, or if you don't have people who are competent already that can check up on them and that kind of thing. So tell us about your website, Run It Once.
Okay. Well, Run It Once training. It's a poker training site that has the training videos from top poker players like Daniel Jungleman Cates and Phil Galfond, teaching you how to play like they play, to think like they think, explaining how they navigate different spots or going through, things, theoretical concepts, things like that. And Run It Once Poker is a poker platform, that you can play poker on. You currently can't. We're actually in the process of we shut down rest of world operations. We were live in a lot of Europe, Canada, across the world, but not the US. And we're actually we've shut down and we're rebuilding and focusing on the US market. So at the time of this recording, you cannot play on Run It Once Poker.
So tell me what motivates you to decide that this product, or what motivates you to share your knowledge and to help the poker world become, or at least help the select few that are interested in your knowledge to become better at poker? And what's your vision you make?
I've always enjoyed teaching. I think probably had I not found poker, I would have ended up being a teacher of some sort. And even from very early in my poker career, I remember I started writing strategy articles for Bluff magazine, because I liked sharing strategy. And I think the reason I liked it is because I really like thinking about strategy. I think it's interesting to think about and to talk about. And then also I think probably a big element of it is that I feel like I'm good at it, and it's fun to do things that you're good at. It's rewarding to do things that you're good at, and rewarding to see the content that you put out there help people. That's kind of the best part of all of it. So I've always enjoyed, I've always enjoyed teaching for all those reasons.
Okay. That seems to be your way of giving back. It sounds like it's like helping people through giving strategy. Is that right?
Well, I mean, I don't really consider it giving back. I think, I guess early in my career, right, I don't remember if I was paid or not for Bluff magazine articles, but I would have done them for free if I wasn't.
Don't tell them that. You say that because now it's too late. You're on the next level. Right? I think, yeah, you're on the next level for sure. You're not. You wouldn't just give away free money.
Sure. I used to, the 2+2 forums, I used to share a lot of strategy there. Sometimes I still share, on Twitter, some poker thoughts. I have a YouTube channel. I share some thoughts there, but I don't consider it, giving back when I'm creating training content that's behind a paywall that I make money from. I'm teaching because I enjoy teaching, but it's also a business. So I think it's, I love when it helps people. Like I absolutely love it to hear that, somebody watched my videos or somebody else's on Run It Once, and it changed the trajectory of their career. And sometimes people will say, oh, this specific concept you talked about, something clicked with me, and then I've had a lot of success. Like I love that, and I'm happy that I'm helping them, and I do think I help people, but I don't consider it giving back when they're paying me to do it.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. It's well, you take away the paying part. That part is giving back. No, it's still by itself in a vacuum giving back, you could say, and you're just
sure. And I mean, like I said, through other mediums, I do share thoughts, sometimes that are free.
Well, what else is new, or what else are you aiming to do for success? The theme of this podcast is like winning the game of life. Like, what else is in store for Mr. Falcons in the future besides taking over the whole poker world?
Well, yeah. I mean, so the real story is obviously the blanket scheme, but what I would, what I'm pretending the story is. Honestly, I don't know. I think right now, one thing I've struggled with over the past few years, kind of like we've talked about, is taking on too much and having too much split focus between this business and poker and starting a family. And I mean, I'm still doing all those things. Of like, when it comes to the business and poker's really still my passion, and I would love to be able to play more than I do. But as you know, that takes a lot of time, not only to play, but to stay on top of your game. So I guess a goal for me in the coming years is to figure out how to play more poker and to study more poker, whether it be more challenges like ours or just finding poker games. It's tough because we live in Las Vegas, and now, you know, my son's 3, he's going to preschool, and like we're kind of entrenched here. And so, you know, just traveling the world like a young Jungleman can do is not as easy as it once was. And so, you know, my options are limited here compared to elsewhere in the world. For the time being, I'm hoping that poker in the US continues to grow, and I think it will, which is part of why we're making that move with Run It Once Poker. But yeah, one of the challenges is just finding action. And then the other is finding time for the action and for studying.
And who's next on the challenge list?
I don't know. So the only challenges that still remain, right, are my challenge against you, and then finishing my challenge against Bill Perkins. And then there's this like quasi challenge. There's Luke, who we never actually set terms for the challenge, but we have kind of we want to play each other at this game for these stakes, and there'll be some kind of number of hands in side bet, but that hasn't been figured out. And kind of the challenge, all 3 of those challenges suffer from the same, I can't find another word for challenge, I need a thesaurus, but suffer from the same challenge of location. You know, I'm here, and the only like poker site I can play on that is legal where I am is WSOP.com, and only people in Nevada and New Jersey can play against me there right now. So that's the struggle is finding, well, like that's why we haven't finished our match or played our match yet, among other reasons. And that's why I haven't finished my match, or one of, I guess with all of these, it's among other reasons, because all of you have busy lives too. But I don't know what's next. I want more challengers. I want people that I can play from here to play against me, and I'm open to creative challenges, but right now it's hard to find. And the location thing is a real concern. And the problem is, you know, as we know, sometimes people play poker in other ways on sites that are not regulated in the areas that they live. But I think just I think it's not an option for me.
Well, I'll give you all the creativity you can handle and more.
Okay.
Looking for. It's coming right at you.
All right.
Whether you're ready or not for that, I don't think you can handle it. I don't know if you know what's coming. I don't think you do. I'm pretty
You're
sure.
right that I don't know what's coming. You are right.
That's what you would say anyway. That's what you would say anyway. Well, I'll be waiting for any challenges in store. They're not going to get past me.
Good. It wouldn't be a challenge. I mean, I don't want it to be easy, you know?
All right. It's not going to be easy. That much I can promise.
I believe
That's for damn sure. Let's see. Do you have any interest to extend beyond poker with what you've done?
If you mean like business beyond poker.
Sure. It doesn't have to be business. It can be anything.
Yeah. Probably one day. I mean, I enjoy writing. I think one day, if I in a parallel universe where I didn't have any of the obligations and goals and things that I have. I'd probably want to write a book. And maybe that's something for a decade from now, who knows? But as far as branching out I don't know. Right now I still love poker, and I love being part of poker world. And that's where my energy still, like, that's where my passion still is.
Yeah. It's covering the whole poker world.
Right.
Awfully.
Yeah. If I leave the poker world, then, the blanket scheme is done for.
It's done for anyway. Mark my words, Galfond. You may think you have the whole world covered, the whole poker world covered.
Yeah.
You don't.
But Jungleman's gonna burn. Jungleman's gonna burn the blanket.
I'm gonna poke a hole in it first.
Mm.
Working on the burning thing. Burning thing is gonna be a little tougher. I'm not gonna lie, but
Seems more effective though, right? Than poking a lot of holes. Do you think, or one big hole would be enough? I guess.
Working on it. I'm working on it.
Okay.
The burn, the burn is a little bit tougher to actually do. That's the thing. Whereas when the blanket's all spread out, as we were talking about things that are superficial, it's hard to like cover everything perfectly. But if you have a strong impact, it can really do some damage. Let's just put it that way. I'll let you know that much of my strategy. I just won't know. You won't know where I'm coming though. You won't know where I'm coming from. Let's put it that much. No chance. No chance. I promise you. I'm 100% chance. Maybe a small chance. Is there anything I've left out that you would like to talk about? Is there anything you would like to add?
Is this why you became a Run It Once pro to get on the inside, to work against me from the inside?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, that's not why. That's I went out there to make great content and support the cause of maybe a little bit. No. Maybe. No.
No. No, I don't have anything else in mind. I always enjoy talking to you though.
Me too. All right, well, guys, this has been Phil Galfond, and where can people learn more about you?
I think probably the best place is just Twitter. That's where you can get updates and stuff that's going on. Twitter, probably.com/Phil Galfond, and then YouTube as well. I don't know if I probably have I might have to just send you a link. I don't even know. I probably have a custom link. YouTube.com/user/ no, that's actually not it. That's an old one. I don't know. I don't know. YouTube and Twitter. I'm on Instagram, and I don't take that many pictures because I just live in this office and there's nothing to take a picture of.
Okay. And where can people learn about everything that falls under the association of Mr. Falcons? Where can people learn about that?
You mean Run It Once? What? I don't know what you mean.
About everything you do under the name of Mr. Falcons.
Oh. Well, everything I do under the name of Mr. Falcons is private, as you know.
Not for long.
You are gonna expose all of my. Now, as your scheme that you've been doing a bunch of things under the name Mr. Falcons, and you're gonna expose them all to the world.
I personally like to talk about something like for the sake of. I try to orient everything in the direction of like what the greater good is.
Mm-hmm.
Although it doesn't seem like you're doing anything like for charity or inspired by like some fucking religion or whatever. But if we are, we can talk about something like that a little bit. I mean, you're trying to do good for the whole poker world. I would say.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I do try to do good for the poker world, and I think, I mean, Run It Once Poker, while it was is a business, the goal was, as a player, I was getting nervous about the direction of the industry, and wanted to create a poker site that kind of kept players' interests and the future, like the future of online poker. It kept the game what we wanted, what it has been. And that was, and I guess I do try, I suppose, to be a voice of reason and positivity in the poker world. And I've been fortunate enough to, have a platform of sorts. People seem to care what I have to say. So I try to use that responsibly and for the betterment of
I got
the
a question
game.
for you.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you care about these things?
I guess I mean, it's a great question. I think I kind of a core value of mine is that, I never want somebody that I interact with to be worse off because of it. And so you'll never see me intentionally harm somebody, intentionally offend somebody, or anything along those lines, because it's just not how it's just like, that's my belief about living life and being a positive, like, just that's being human, I think is that's what it's all about. Not everybody agrees. A lot of people do say things that they know are going to hurt somebody, or do things that they know are going to hurt somebody. Exception, of course, being, I do try to take people's money at the poker table.
Well, that's within the rules. That's just fair.
That's within the rule. Exactly. Yeah. And so I guess that's, I would say, kind of a core value, how I live my life. I'm not going to go to the store and, interacting with the cashier. I mean, it might be my influence is neutral, but I never want to make their day worse. And I never want to make anybody's day worse. And I think that, I guess, on a larger scale, I love the game of poker. I don't necessarily love every single person in the entire poker industry, but I genuinely care about a lot of people that are poker players, and care about the betterment of their lives. And if I can have some small impact on that in a positive way, then I want to. And I mean, I think I assume, as you've, I know, gotten into more charitable ventures, that it's very easy to, like, why do I care more about the poker world than some other industry or, individual location or something like that? It's just because, we all, like, our human instinct is to care more about what we see and what we interact with on a daily basis. And that's why some charitable causes get neglected, because people don't see that in their everyday lives. But, I see poker, I interact with poker people and the poker world a lot. And so it's kind of the most obvious place for me to want to positively impact people.
Well, it's like central to, like, it's your community. It's more your community than the whole world. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Well said.
Yeah, certainly within the scope of the blanket. I think your stand-up character within the scope of the blanket that we're talking about, embracing the poker world with its warm, loving constrictions. And
thank you.
Yeah. Well, I think definitely a large aspect of that, of not wanting to make someone else's day worse. There are many different variations of doing that through various forms of misconduct, that if one has a sense of integrity or a sense of, like, appeal to logic, you can see that if you want to behave good in one way, or behave good period, or whatever your appeal is to it can make sense to always be good to someone else. But I personally believe that in the super long run, that this ultimately benefits. I mean, there's quite a bit of evidence of this, but this ultimately benefits oneself. Like everyone wants to like be close to the friendly guy, right? Or the guy that's never shows his anger, controls his emotions, and all of that. Yeah, that's how you get them. That's your secret.
I guess that's how I get them. Yeah.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Sometimes you just really make me lose control, lose my sense of self.
The blankets, you don't even see the blanket wrapping around you.
That's that warm embrace. That's that soft, warm embrace. You can feel it through the air. It's energy. Were you always this way?
I think so. Yeah.
Really? Since you were like 6 years old?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it comes from, like I still don't really know, well, no, I do. I don't know where it comes from, I guess. Yeah. That's the long story short is, but yeah, I was always, I've been the same. I was like I was an old soul. Like when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, I was already like the same way I am now almost. Yeah, I feel like I've always been pretty much the same. Obviously matured in some ways, like we all have, but yeah, I think the way that I act towards people has always been the same.
So you're saying that you may just be part of a syndicate, that there's more of you.
There might be more of me. There are more, yeah.
Oh my God. Wow, I hope it isn't true. Fuck no. I don't know if I can handle that. Like that I wasn't ready for. That just like that yeah. Shit. This could be way
there are more.
This could be way bigger than both of us. I mean, if there's more of you, I might need an army or something. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, what chance do you have? You thought it was just me, and you thought it was gonna be a challenge. Yeah, what chance do you have against an army of Phil Galfonds?
Now I think you're bluffing. Now I think this one is an obvious bluff. I think there's no way you would say it if that was what was going on. I think there's no way. I think I got a read and I got you to expose yourself, or I may have gotten you to expose yourself, but now I think there's no way there's more of you. There's no way. It's just too unlikely.
Well, I think we both that I'm gonna give you the real answer. So
yeah. Well, we're gonna find the truth. The truth is coming out one way or another. And that's what we're doing today. Revealing the truth of Phil Galfond, his message, his website, runonce.com, his legacy in the poker world, and what happens next. We'll leave a little trailer for that.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, guys. Well, this has been Phil Galfond, aka Mr. Fucking Falcons, right here, right in front of you, doing his thing, spreading his secrets before spreading.
Thanks for having me on, Jungle. It was fun.
Yes. Thanks for being part of it, Phil.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Winning the Game of Life. Tune in next week for another great episode. Of course, hit subscribe and follow Dan on Instagram @TheDanCates.